Probably shouldn't have them.
Got it. All right.
They're pretty good.
So,
all right. Appreciations. So these are for both my pairs these past 2 weeks. For Jayla to get started on refactoring. We kind of went into it. It felt a little blind and we're confused a little bit, but I'm excited to see kind of what happened with it. And for Rachel, we got started on the styling. We did get blocked by the database timing out again, which was interesting. And I didn't get super far, but I do want to use materialize. I realize I have a typo, so I'm going to fix that. And then just for everybody, it's been a really fun 8 weeks, and it's weird that it's ending today. So I don't know what I'm going to do next Sunday. It's like 3 o'clock. What do we do?
I'm realizing we didn't do demos. Should we do demos first and then come back to this, or do you want to? Should we cruise through the retro and then?
Yeah, I was just guessing that we were going to do demos after, but this was just a new exciting order.
Yeah, on the last week we'll switch it up. That's fine. So I guess let's keep going with the retro, and then we'll do demos afterwards. We'll wrap it up with demos. The suspense. It's gonna be amazing. All right. So Rachel.
Okay, so I was just kind of more general. I was just saying I appreciate everybody's hard work, that we've all been managing full schedules as well as a pandemic and still managed to get things done. And it's insane to me that Matt moved to another state and still got stuff done. So we're all pretty awesome and hardworking, and I appreciate you all.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, for me, I just appreciate all the energy that you've all put into the project over the last 8 weeks. I mean, it's always impressive to me. You don't have to be doing this. I know, like you're learning stuff, but it's just, I don't know. It's really amazing to me just kind of watch you all like work so hard at it and like, support each other and just all the things that go on. So just super appreciate all of that. Radhika, Michael, and Stacy, you've been great mentors for this group. Really, really appreciate everything you've kind of put into it, and hope we get to work together in a future cohort. So yeah, you're all great. Jayla. Oh, you're muted, Jayla.
Okay, I have two. The first one is for Matthew, Haley, and Rachel. Just thank you guys so much for the last 8 weeks. My React skills were super dusty. Like I told you guys last week, I haven't coded since I started this project, and you guys taught me so much. I know how to navigate hooks now. I learned about like destructuring. I learned a bunch of other things that I can't remember right now, but yeah. Definitely took what I learned in boot camp and kind of elevated it. So thank you guys so much. And also thank you to Andrew, Stacy, and Michael, and Radhika, just for being so supportive, for all your resources you guys have been dropping in the Slack, or just like the words of encouragement each week have been great. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thanks. I love the yins.
Oh yeah, that is, I forgot. It's definitely the Pittsburgh. Yins is just y'all, use all. Yins means anything, honestly. But I really appreciate yins.
Nice. Radhika.
Basically, same with everyone else. Thank you, everyone. This has been a big learning experience for me. I've never done anything like this before, and I think this is as smoothly as it could have gone. Especially thank you to Michael for picking up the slack where I couldn't, because he's very, very good at this. That's what I realized. Even though he said he never did it before, like as we went further in, I was just like, oh wow, he thought of so many things that I didn't, and the other way around, I'm sure I'd say too. And thank you to the mentees for being like so into this, because I think there's a lot of experiences online where you have a lot of enthusiasm at the beginning and it kind of fades out at the end, and I'm always really skeptical to get into these situations because of that. But all of you, we made it to the finish line. Like we actually committed for 2 months. That's so rare on the internet, like in a free situation. And I'm just really happy that, you know, we all stuck it out to week 8, despite how hard it was some weeks.
That's great.
Yeah, and then mine, I guess, is a little general, but yeah, just thanks to everybody. I really enjoyed working with Jayla and Rachel and Haley. You recruit very well, Andrew. I think you felt, really had a good time working with everyone and learned a lot. And kind of what Radhika said, just completing something is very, I don't know, I feel like it's really easy to kind of like start out and kind of dissipate halfway through. I noticed I do that sometimes with tutorials. It's like, so that feeling of getting through to the final end is really good. So thank you for everyone for sticking it out, especially the last couple of weeks when it would have been really easy to drop out with everything going on. So I appreciate it.
Yes. All right, Haley, what went well?
There, let me mute again. I think over the last few weeks, it's been a little bit lax on. I've gotten better at asking questions when I don't know. Like, I'm not scared to, but in this kind of space with code, I get very anxious about it. So it's nice to have the kind of safety net of, I don't know, let's ask, and we have like a specific person you can ask. Because definitely learned a lot every single week. And it wasn't like given the answer. So it's next steps you can kind of learn along the way.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
That's a lot with the refactoring.
Yeah. Rachel. Rachel's muted.
Yep, sorry about that. So again, just starting in general, that this has been a super referral experience, and I learned something from every time I worked with somebody. There was always some like awesome little tidbit. Specifically this last week, though, I got pretty sick for the last few days. I am feeling better now, not 100%. But even so, like, I mean, Kelly and I only got to meet up once, but we got a lot of styling done in that little bit of time. So that went well.
Yeah, cool. Can't wait to see it. Yeah, well, I think what went well from my perspective is that you all learned so much over the last 8 weeks. That's, you know, kind of why we're here. And, you know, I just again, like this, you've really, you know, you get out of it what you put into it. So the fact that you've learned so much means that you worked really hard and, you know, like really kind of focused on this. And so anyway, yeah, just really proud of it, all the work you've done, and, you know, really, you know, super interested in just keeping in touch and kind of helping you as you get started in your tech career. So. Jayla.
Muted again.
Go,
Okay.
yeah.
So we made progress on the refactoring. Learned a bit about destructuring because kept having issues with that. And I finally used debuggers successfully, and I understand like Rachel's excitement a couple weeks ago when she used debuggers successfully because it really just helped me. I also figured out what I did not know, which I was happy about because when Haley and I took a first pass at refactoring, we were like, we don't know what we don't know. Like, we don't know which question to ask.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of held us up a bit. But I think I've figured out what I don't know. So now I can figure out the best way to ask the question. Things like that. Anywho, yeah, that's what went well.
Yeah, that's great.
So for me, I think the past, like, this isn't just the past week, although the past week is included, but like the past 2 or 3 weeks, I think we've seen like a lot more confidence from everyone in like taking on things that they're uncomfortable with and like enunciating that and communicating about that. And I think like the last few weeks have been just a real like home run. Y'all really done above and beyond. So good job.
Nice. Matthew?
Yeah, so it's just for the last couple of weeks, but I just had a lot of fun styling with Rachel. We played with like we tried playing with the date picker, but we also got like other cool kind of materialized things put in place, and it's always fun watching the app kind of like come to life, like when just with a few different additions. And then me and Jayla were only able to meet up once yesterday, but I thought we were like really productive in the time we had, and the ideas we had actually worked almost like on the first time, which is rare sometimes. But yeah, that went really well, and I feel like we used that hour 15 or whatever we had like really really well. So
Cool.
that's good.
Nice. All right. So yeah. So what's next? Now that this is our last time getting together doing this. So Haley.
Yeah, as part of work from home for the next about supposedly month. It was already extended from 2 weeks. I picked up an old side project to kind of play around with hooks and React a little bit more. So I put on Twitter, I was doing 100 days of code, and that was put on pause for this. So I'll probably pick that back up. And kind of juggling that with also going on walks because I need to get outside more. I haven't left that much in the last 10 days. So we'll see after that. This was my first on-call weekend, which has been very interesting. Basically put in 8 hours yesterday working on something.
Oh, wow.
So, take a break.
Take a break. For sure. Cool. All right, Rachel?
Yeah, so I'm already somewhere where I am pretty stoked to be, so I'm hoping to stay at Stream, continuing to work with AR, which I think is super cool. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's what's next for me. Hopefully I get to continue.
I feel like your background is almost like AR. Well, for Collab Lab, we kick off this Cohort 6 in 2 weeks' time, 2 weeks from today. Hopefully it won't be too much longer before we're an actual nonprofit, and that actually unlocks a whole bunch of stuff for us, like we can get the sort of free Slack plan and get back to all the messages that are kind of, sliding off the history of Slack, and kind of build, we'll be able to do that with some different software, get some discounts and stuff, which would be good. We have a couple of mentors lined up in Europe, and so hopefully we'll, when their schedules kind of free up, we'll be actually able to run a cohort in Europe and Africa, which would be amazing. I mean, it'll be really cool to branch out from North American time zones and see if we can scale this up sort of around the clock. And then, I guess the other thing is we just hope that you all, stay active in Slack, stay connected to us on Twitter, and, just consider this a community. Like you've made great friends kind of within your group. All the cohorts are amazing, and just like, they're all kind of just really supportive of each other, and kind of chipping in to help each other in all kinds of ways. So as you're kind of navigating your first few years in tech and stuff, like consider us kind of just lean on us, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, really excited for that for you all.
So I am going to commit the 5-ish hours every week that I've been using for this to start working on my personal portfolio. I have like a list of projects that I created last year that I never started. So I already have some ideas for that. Also, I'm excited to be doing some trainings at work because I have a bunch of free time now because I'm work from home for at least a month. So I'll be learning AWS architecture and then development soon, and Angular, which I'm really excited about. And yeah, I'm just looking to keep learning, keep doing trainings. So yeah.
That's great.
That's
exciting.
I'm work from home and I'm not as happy about it as the rest of you. I hate it. I miss the office. So actually last week, Thursday and Friday, I was working till 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. I'm doing really badly at this. So I'm looking forward to I don't know if y'all can see it. Oh, bookshelf. I'm looking forward to not ever opening my computer on the weekends, because now that this is done, I don't have to, and then just reading a lot.
That's great. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough actually. That's a very real thing. Like you don't have the same boundaries. You're not like, like morning commute and evening commute don't kind of define when you work. So yeah, we all have little tricks for that. Like for me, I walk from my house out to the shed, and that's kind of like my commute. But
I think it's just a different. I'll say this one thing and I'll move on. I think it's just different because people have been saying this. It's like it's not like work from. It's not like remote work. It's literally work from home, only home, which is really restricting. But yes, that's. Oh, I miss people.
yeah, for sure. All right, Matthew.
I'm back to job hunting. I was meant to have about another month, but with everything going on, the startup I've been working for wants to kind of hoard their money just in case, which makes perfect sense. So I'll be kind of looking for jobs again, maybe another contract, maybe if there's something local. I don't know how hiring is at the moment. It seems some companies are doing it while others, like Ficasa, just dumped a lot of people. So it'll be interesting time seeing who picks up and who doesn't. So besides that, just maybe find one of my side projects that have been in that side project graveyard and make it come back to life. Or just there's so many tutorials out there. And I think some of the websites are offering some more free plans now, so that used to be paid, so worth checking out as well. But yeah, I love React, so I keep studying React and vanilla JavaScript, and just really use this time wisely. I hope to keep my skills going.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Cool. Thank you, everybody. Should we do demos now? I feel like such a dork not doing the demos at the beginning, but it's all right. Still get them on record, and yeah, I'm really excited to see state of the app. So who wants to go first?
So ours isn't really finished because of everything we explained. I think you know that.
Yeah.
But Haley, you've got the most recent. If you want to demo it, or I can pull and demo it.
Yeah, I think I've got, let me start it here. I just pulled it again just in case for some reason. But so I think we only got to just part of it because we're kind of waiting on the item list refactor in case it changed anything else. But in a second. Should be the screen. Like that. So currently it has, so when you open it, item list. I think this was added it was before I looked at it. So items, this is what it was before. But we are doing some more, let's see, existing token, enter token, clear. And I was using this one quite a bit. And so now we kind of spread these out. And Rachel was on a mad hunt to find the checkbox was behind everything because it was all in the middle here. And we couldn't seem to get it from behind like the details. So now it just does a nice little animation when you buy it.
Oh, cool.
Details, this one didn't really get changed due to the timeout issue. And then if we want to delete it, kind of did a little bit like more obvious text and say okay or cancel. I'll clear it out. Yeah, that is.
Anything that you can share about sort of did you learn any new stuff about Materialize or anything?
Hold on, this is from my other side project I had opened, but I thought I had opened the other one. One sec. A lot of I like the pre-built like animations that they already have. Like this one is a pretty quick addition, similar to like we were talking about with Bootstrap. You can just say, I want this red button, and all of them will look the same if you use the same class.
I just want to mention really quick the one thing about the checkbox. The reason it was hidden was a new thing that we learned about Materialize, which was just that when they show you that code snippet as an example, like you really need the whole thing. You need all of the context. You need it to be in a span. You need it to be in a specific configuration. You can't just like stick the class in your checkbox and expect it to work. That's why it was hidden. So just FYI.
Just trying to find where that was. I think it's just in the regular item list. Let me move this over here. I think that was part of model. Oh, this whole.
Yeah, that's
because we just tried to add, because we just had type checkbox, and then there was some other portions that we did need to make it actually show up. Otherwise, it was technically there, but you couldn't see it.
Yeah, the frameworks they're great in a lot of ways, but they're very pedantic. Like they, some of them you can use different tags, but all the class names need to be there, and sometimes they rely on the tag name as well. So yeah, you have to follow it really closely to get it to work.
Yeah, not too much added to, like a little bit of styling, and then in here it was mostly through Materialize that we did most of the styling this week. So that should go away after like.
Very nice. Cool. We want to share some from the refactor?
I can share. So I'm going to share my whole desktop because I'm going to show you what is like working and what's not working.
Okay.
So picking up from where we left off, Haley and I left off, before we had like an if else and it worked, but it wasn't, it got really long and like clunky once we put everything else in. So what Matthew and I were able to do is first, of course, extract this list item return so that we don't have to keep writing it because it's the same thing over and over. We were able to shorten all of our like renders into like 5 to 7 lines. This is my favorite. Matthew was able to figure this out. Because we had another like if else, I believe, in here, and he was able to shorten it down to 1 line, which was great. So that was the big thing. And then when you come down here, we're just rendering with H1 tags. So that was the major refactor. We were able to get rid of a nice chunk of code again. So that's what's working. This is a pull request. So I tried to take it a step further, and that's just what I'm working on now, and essentially extract all of what I just showed you guys into this component called item render. So there's your function list item, and then everything I just copied and pasted into there. It's not working, only because this filter and sort is returning undefined. I pulled it in as props. Before I had it in here, but it was not working. So I thought, let me pull it in as props from item list. And even then, like it still is coming back undefined. So I'm working on, I think it's more of a mounting issue than it is it's not actually undefined. There is DB items, and it's all filtered and sorted. But I think that I'm mounting in a bad order, so that when this use effect is not running before whatever is happening in item render. So it's just breaking the whole thing. So that's where I'm at. And once this comes out, then oh, this is how I shortened it. But we will get rid of another like large chunk of code in this file, and then kind of makes more sense, a little bit more readable. So yeah, that's where we're at. Didn't touch the styling, so when we merge, it should be pretty easy to style. But yeah.
Yeah, you may need to look at sort of the structure they came up with for the list items and everything, and apply that back into your into what you've done. But that looks really good. I mean, I actually love refactoring like this because it's like you can take something that's kind of long, pull out a piece that just does one job, make it, put it in, separate place. Then it's very clear for the next person who comes along. Like, if I want to render a list item, I go into this file. If I want to render a list with multiple list items, it's this file. It makes it, it's like a mitzvah or something for your team or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So that's what we worked on. And we were able to get this done, like the first part, under an hour, which was great. We really like powered through. So thank you, Matthew.
Yeah.
I don't know how to get back to Zoom. I don't know where Zoom's at. Okay. Stop share.
Nice. Well, great job. Great job the whole time. I mean, it's been incredibly fun working with all of you, and excited just to see kind of everything you do in your careers. I don't know if there's any last parting words or anything. Stacey, you want to say anything to the group?
You have all been absolutely incredible, and it's been so fascinating to watch how your cohort has taken place versus all of the other ones that came before you and this new one that we're doing right now. Every single one of you creates this like incredibly different app and collaborate together so differently, and it's like every single person on the team makes up this like beautiful team that does incredible things, and I feel like you've all supported each other so well. It makes me so proud to be a part of something like this when I see you all grow in this way. So amazing job. You're all going to do incredible things. I'm so excited for you. And we will be here. We'll be around. Like Andrew said, lean on us, lean on your cohort members, your mentors as you kind of navigate the waters of tech. And good luck to you all. I'm going to miss you so much. You're all amazing.
Thanks, everybody.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, thank you all so much. Yeah, this has been incredibly helpful. I'm so glad this was available. Andrew, I'm so glad I randomly met you that day at that meetup.
I know, right?
So I swear part of why I got my internship. So grateful forever.
Awesome.
You're so sweet. So proud of you.
Yeah. Great. Thank you. I hate this part of the cohorts where I have to actually kind of turn off the meeting for the last time. But
keep working on that app, like take your own version of it and build it into something bigger if you want. Pop in there, create, like your own repo and add new issues to it. This can be like a beautiful project for your portfolios, especially if you can take your own version of it and start adding to it and start, like sticking issues in there and like kind of product managing what is going to come next for it and make a really robust portfolio piece. Talk about this in interviews, talk about the team challenges you faced, the best parts about working on a team. Use this as remote work experience in this climate where everybody's turning to remote work. You now have experience to show for that where other people don't. So use it.
Yep.
That's it. I could go on forever. Don't keep me. Hang up on me.
Cool. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, thanks.
Take care.
Thanks, guys.
See you
Bye.
later.
Bye.
Bye.